Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Franz von Holzhausen, and I'm Chief of Design for Tesla Motors, and I'm super excited that you guys came out on a Monday night, the end of September. Beautiful night we have for you. This is our design studio here in Hawthorne, and we have something really special to talk about and to show you. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you Mr. Elon Musk.
All right, thanks everyone for coming. So what we want to show you tonight is essentially the answer to the three major problems that are holding back electric vehicles, or at least that people think are holding back electric vehicles.
Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's March 1st, 2022, and today what I thought I'd do is share with you a comment and a question from Kate, who's been a long-term subscriber. Kate was responding to a video that Thea and I had published about 5 days ago from the time that I'm recording this video, and the title of that video was Tesla 2020 Model Y, Our Experiences. And to all said and done, we just absolutely love the car. It's been Thea's car now for over a year, and it has been probably one of the best purchases that we've ever made. It's absolutely fantastic. And Kate had asked after watching that video, very informative, we won't be in the market for a new vehicle for another 2 years, but we have started looking at Teslas as the reviews are pretty great. Do the supercharging stations cost money to use, or are they free? Annually, we drive from Florida to upstate New York, so I would need to charge along the way. And by the way, Kate, when you're doing your travels, if you'd like to swing by us, we're in Oswego, New York. If you're interested at all, reach out to us when you're making your trip up, and you can potentially just meet and greet with Thea and I and see the property. So anyways, so the introduction to the video that we just looked at was Franz, who is the person driving the car, and introducing Elon. Franz is the designer of the vehicles, everything after the initial Roadster, and he and Elon work very closely together, trying to make sure that things are constantly evolving with the design and features of the Teslas, and certainly all the engineers work in the backgrounds as well. And what Elon was about to introduce on this date was the Supercharger network and what its future plans were. And so you could easily get confused when you watch some of the old videos, because when they first launched the supercharging network, there were no electrifying systems any place in the world except for people's own homes and garages to charge electric vehicles, because there are so few electric vehicles. So in order to encourage the adaptation or the adoption of people purchasing electric vehicles, the first vehicles that Tesla were producing at a mass market were the Model S cars. And as a result, the Elon introduced free charging for life of the original owner of that initial startup. And so we'll go over a little bit more of that now.
Tesla developed this supercharging technology, which is the most advanced charging technology in the world. This is something that allows you to make a brief stop at one of our Tesla supercharger stations, charge your car very quickly, and be on your way. Something that's unique about the supercharger is that it's free. It's not just free now, it's free forever. The number of Tesla supercharging stations is increasing dramatically. By the end of next month, we will have tripled the number of stations since the beginning of the year. Within 6 months, we will have covered most of the major metro areas of North America. A year from now, we will have covered 80% of the North American population, and within 2 years, over 98%. So by buying a Tesla, you essentially have free long-distance travel throughout the country forever.
So that was May 30th, 2013. And you can see what Elon's plans were. It was rather small to start out with the extent of the supercharging network that was there. But within a year's time, you can see just how much their expansion was. The whole United States, most countries are completely have superchargers all over, but the need is tremendous. There are going to be more and more superchargers continually expanding every single month to reach many different locations. So you're seeing what the plans were back here in 2013. We'll be going over some more expansion information in just a moment. Another thing is that not only did Tesla expand their supercharging network, they kept innovating and improving the superchargers themselves. So the first ones you saw in the first couple of videos were the V1 superchargers. And by the way, all the videos I'm showing so far are from Tesla's YouTube channel, so you can go to that. So you can see if the battery is low in charge, those batteries take a rapid charge right off the bat. That last little bit, the last 10 or 15% to top off the battery, the charging rate drops drastically, so you'll be longer at a charger if you're trying to get the charger completely charged to full charge. So, it's one of the things is learning how to use the supercharger network or the other charging networks that are out there. So as you can see in this video, how rapidly the charging goes up to. So here we are, we're approaching 1,000 miles per hour. In other words, you can get up to 75 miles just in 5 minutes of charging if the battery is starting off at a low charge rate to start off with. Now I want to go to another video that I think is really valuable. This is the Kilowatts, is the YouTube channel. I think this is absolutely fantastic. So let's listen in to this EV driver's experiences as well.
Now, if you're newer to electric vehicles, you might be thinking, how could a nationwide network of ultra-fast chargers be an Achilles heel? Don't we need these to enable long-distance road trips and get back and forth across the country? And obviously, you're right, we do need infrastructure, but in my experience of driving electric vehicles coast to coast, and anyone who's experienced driving multiple different electric vehicles can tell you there's a major difference between driving a Tesla and using Tesla's supercharging network and using Electrify America to get across the country. And it all comes down to accessibility, speed, and reliability. Right now in the US, we effectively have a case of Apple versus Android. At least for now, other EVs can't charge on Tesla's network. And in the inverse, Teslas can't charge on the CCS network. Being the first to bring a fast-charging EV to market, Tesla designed their own proprietary connector. With Tesla, there's just one form factor for both slow and fast charging. It's small, lightweight, and really easy to use. Just plug in and go. But for everyone else, there's this thick boy, a CCS port with a J1772 kind of port on the top and two high-power connectors on the bottom. It might seem like a small detail to some, but in practice, Tesla's cable is about 10 times easier to plug in. But that's just the port design. First, you've got to find the chargers. Many non-Tesla EVs, like this Mustang Mach-E, make it difficult to find details about high-powered chargers in the first place. For example, if I wanted to go to this Electrify America station 2 miles away, I can't quite see how many chargers they have and how many are currently available. As a result, I'm often looking at my phone to determine where to charge with other apps like PlugShare or this one, a better route planner. However, once you've located a CCS charger such as this Electrify America, you could still face a myriad of issues. First, you've got to look to plug into the fastest stall for your vehicle without blocking someone else. Most vehicles today charge at about 150 kilowatts peak, but some charge at 350 kilowatts. And if you plug a 150 kilowatt car into a 350 kilowatt stall, you're blocking the faster cars from charging at their highest speeds. That's not all though. As an Electrify America user, you still have one important thing to consider, and that's this CHAdeMO port, which is great if you own a Nissan Leaf, but terrible if someone's already plugged into this CCS port. You see, Electrify America has only one of these at any given station, and if someone plugs into the CCS port here before plugging into any of the other ones, the Nissan Leaf user is out of luck. Let's say you finally plugged in. This is an area where we found more problems arise. Let's say you've got one of the best new EVs that came with plug-in charge. Currently, it's only available in the Porsche Taycan, in the Mustang Mach-E, and the Lucid Air. And you've gone ahead and activated it within the app. Well, this is gonna sound weird, but there's a chance that you shouldn't have. It turns out, if you plan to charge on Electrify America more than twice a month, you should be signed up for Electrify America's Pass Plus, a membership program that cuts the cost of each charge session by 25%. The problem though, with Electrify America, you can't have both the member rates and plug-in charge turned on at the same time. So you either get the peace of mind that you can just plug in and go, or you'll need to deactivate plug-in charge entirely and activate each charge session from your phone to ensure the cheapest charging. I'm not trying to say that supercharging Teslas is perfect. There's still confusion between the 75 kilowatt urban superchargers, the 150 kilowatt chargers, and the 250 kilowatt chargers, but for the most part, it's mindless. You just plug into your navigation where you want to go, and the car will tell you if and where you need to charge and for how long.
So I'll stop that video there. I think this is an excellent video, and I should say that there are literally tens of thousands of videos online that go over the supercharging network. There are many videos that do comparisons, looking at the different EV manufacturers taking their vehicles around and using their the different electrifying charging systems. So, Marcus made a video showing where I think 3 different vehicles, a Mach-E, I think it was an ID4, and a Tesla, all left one location. They had 4 waypoints or destinations that they had to show up at specific times, and then they had to make a big round trip, and this is around the country. And everyone explaining what their challenges were. Well, this charger wasn't in service. There were not enough chargers. I had to wait in line for chargers and all. So Tesla has really been aggressive at really expanding the number of superchargers every place. And so I don't know if I mentioned it so far in this video. I've had to record it a couple of times. But Tesla, one of the things that Tesla does do is they try to make sure that they help out in natural disasters. So when there's a terrible forest fire in California, or there's a floods in the southern, or hurricanes, one of the things that Tesla has consistently done is they've opened up the supercharger network for free for all of the vehicles, so that people can get to safety, so that they have a way of charging their phones, charging their laptops, all of those things from their cars, and getting aid to people when fuel isn't available and all. They open up the supercharging network. Recently, Tesla has opened up the supercharging network for free for those people evacuating out of Ukraine and going to the surrounding border countries, trying to get safe transport and get people out of the area. So Tesla's been very good with an expansive network, a very reliable network, and so far it looks fantastic. Now, as I mentioned, we haven't actually used the supercharging network yet because of our particular circumstances, but there are many ways to be able to travel much more comfortably and easily and confidently as well. So what I thought I'd show you next is a better route planner. This gentleman mentioned it in this video. And a better route planner is not part of the Tesla software. This is one you can download for your phone, or in this case, I have it on the desktop PC here, and you can see that it's routed me from my home, going down to LA, and then going back to my home as well. I may have put a waypoint in here. I played with this a little bit, but not very much. So in the settings here, we have, I've got it set up, so I'm not a premium user, so I don't pay for this, so you don't have to pay for this application. But to get more bells and whistles, you can pay for this feature, and it's really good. This, in older model Teslas, so that like the first few years of Teslas being manufactured, the processing unit in the display that you see in front of you may not be powerful enough to rapidly increase the information from a better route planner. The Tesla app with the superchargers in the car works fabulously with even the oldest Tesla vehicles. But with a better route planner, you can work with different scenarios along the way on your phone or on a desktop personal computer or on a Mac. So one of the things, if we look over here in the left-hand side of the screen, it allows you to select your car model. I've got a Tesla Model Y 2020 long-range all-wheel drive R car in here, and it's the state of charge for the departure. If we're going to make a big trip, I might make that 100%, so I'd have it just charge up full charge just beforehand and all. But I had it at 90 for the just plugging in this value here. Sorry about that. 90%. And reference consumption, it's averaging 65 miles per hour is what it's suggesting. And I'm new to this app as well. And you can choose as far as when you're selecting your route, how you're going to get from Florida to upstate New York. You can go ahead and put in your home location and the destination that you want to go to, and you can add waypoints along the way and say, I want to stop here and stop there and all. So, and you can say, I want it the fewest number of stops, or I want to have more stops, or I want to see more of the national parks, or I want to go shopping. All of those things you can select in this Better Route Planner. And so you can select the speed that you want to be traveling at, the road conditions, all of those sorts of things, maps, navigation, and all. But I'm just going to go back over here for a second. And what I said here in the top here, you can see the blue spot there. That's our home. And it's saying I'm leaving at 2:06 p.m. And of course, you'd schedule everything the way that would work for you. And I would drive for 2 hours and 28 minutes to driving 136 miles, and starting off with a 90% state of charge in the car. And I'd get to Chickamauga, New York Supercharger, and it would take me 17 minutes to charge to going from 35% to 55%. So that's a really rapid charge there. So it takes 17 minutes. That's good for a bathroom break and just to stretch a little bit after a 2.5 hour drive. And then I'd go ahead and go to Erie, Pennsylvania. And that'd be an hour and 36 minute. And I would be spending and this might be dinner time, I guess is what they're looking at here, 6:20 to, no, so I'd be there for 14 minutes. Maybe you're going to pick up some food, go from a 15% charge to a 62% charge. Now, certainly based on weather conditions and cold conditions, all of that stuff you enter into the program as well, so that you're not worried about things. And you can say, okay, I don't feel comfortable going down to 15% state of charge. I want at least 20% because I don't know if I'll be tied up in traffic or whatever the circumstances. So you plug in the data that you want. If you wanted to, and I wanted to, let's say I wanted to stop off here someplace, and if I were to zoom in to Tennessee and I said, oh, I want to stop in Nashville, I can just right click on Nashville, and I can add that as a waypoint for that destination. So it can go ahead and go down to Nashville and then continue and give you a different route. So this is very user-friendly, this program. There are many videos on using a better route planner. I know that Now You Know, that YouTube channel, it's called Now You Know. They've traveled all over Europe and the United States and Canada as well, using a better route planner in their Tesla vehicles. So it works out extremely well. You can make so in other words, one of the things I could do is I could go ahead and click on, where is it here? Let's say I didn't want to stop in St. Louis, and let me see what I do with this. I know there's a way of doing this. Oh. Well, do I hit delete? Well, we'll have to figure out just how to do that. So you can say, okay, I want to stay overnight there. You can click on the icon for staying overnight in that location, and it'll get you to one of the places. Again, I haven't used this. I haven't been using the Supercharging network here at all, but it's constantly expanding. The Supercharger network, it's constantly evolving as well. And another thing that's really interesting is the evolution of the battery technology. So when, like for example, since we've owned the car, the ability for the range has changed, it's increased, and the rate of charging has increased. As Tesla gets more and more data, they over-the-air update your vehicle so that the battery technology, the battery maintenance system, actually does a better job of maintaining the batteries. With the Model Y that we have, with the type of batteries that are in it right now, it's not good to fully charge it to 100% and completely drain it. The lifespan of the battery is decreased. So we usually charge it to like 80, 85, sometimes 90% charge. We've never gone on a long trip where we're going to go ahead and say, okay, at 6 a.m. we'll be leaving, so go ahead and charge up to 100% at 6 a.m. so I know the time of departure. Then I can go even further before I have to get to the first supercharger as well. So I hope this helps some. So unfortunately, if you buy a vehicle nowadays, the supercharging isn't free unless you're unfortunate enough to be in a natural disaster, that sort of thing. And I would highly recommend downloading a better route planner and trying that out and seeing what you think as well, and looking at so many of the different videos online. And I think this video by the Kilowatts is one of many really fabulous videos out there that can show you some of the subtle differences that can be annoyances and something that you don't want to deal with potentially. Tesla in other countries right now is opening up the Tesla superchargers to non-Tesla vehicles as well. I anticipate that that'll be happening in the United States as well, and therefore Tesla superchargers, they'll be expanding every place. And certainly there are destination chargers, as I've talked about in other videos. So if you're going to a Hilton or a I don't know the names of the various motels and hotels and grocery stores, there will be destination chargers at those locations. And certainly if you run a business that you're relying on tourists and all, or you want to encourage, if you're next to an interstate or a highway, you're going to want to have chargers for free of charge, being able to charge vehicles so that they come and utilize your resources and spend money at your facility as well. The supercharging revolution is going to change the way that we travel, the way that it's going to get less and less expensive as time goes on. Another important thing is, with all the sanctions that are being imposed on Russia as a result of their invasion of a sovereign country, one of the things many nations now are putting these strict sanctions on Russia, and therefore those countries are going to be dealing with higher energy costs. The United States will be dealing with higher fuel prices as well. This is going to also increase the rate of EV adoption. It's going to increase the rate of renewable energy. And that's one of the other big businesses that Tesla has, is they're doing the big mega packs, the big battery storage units, the solar roofs, the solar panels as well. So our country and many other countries are going to be stimulated to get more aggressive with renewable energy and becoming less dependent on fossil fuels. It's going to take time, but the rate that we're going to be continually increasing the rate of electric vehicle adoption, and certainly renewable energy transformation as well. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I always look forward to reading your comments. It takes me a little bit of time to get back to them, but I do enjoy the interactions as well. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.